are you? And what are you doing here?
Name's Percival. Just checking this place out on a whim. Looks like you beat me to the action.
You would presume right, yes.
Oh. I guess we aren't so lucky that the Lord of Lance Rock wouldn't have come up to meet us this early on into his domain. Greetings.
Lord of Lance Rock.
Oh yeah, I should
That's
mention.
me.
First of all, as you walked into the cave, you passed a sign, which had scrawled upon it, "Come no closer, lest you catch the disfiguring plague that afflicts me." And it is signed the Lord of Lance Rock.
Yep, that's me. I am the Lord of Lance Rock. What are you doing in my cave place?
Azra steadies his hammer in his hands and says, "Are you the one then bringing the dead back to life?"
I am not able to do that. So no.
Well,
okay, I'm sorry. I got off on the wrong foot. I'm not a good actor or anything. My name's Percival. I heard about this place and I just thought I'd come check it out. I'm sorry. And he holds out a hand.
My squire, Mako.
Mm-hmm.
Mako
emerges from the shadows. A young lad. What does Mako look like, Azra?
Mako's about 13, maybe 15. He's actually a bit taller than Azra. Azra's about like 5'9", 5'10", but Percival's like 6 foot tall. But he's like very lanky, and he wears all black. He has fingerless gloves, and he wears a black cape. And if you can get as close to goth as you can in a medieval setting, that is.
Yeah, he has a very clear aesthetic.
Mako.
I'm waiting for the voice. That's what I'm waiting for.
As he emerges from the shadows where he was cowering for the entirety of that last fight, he says, "Is it safe to come out now, Uncle Azra?"
Yes, Mako. It's perfectly fine. We just have a new friend to introduce yourself to.
Hi, pleasure to meet you. My name is Mako. And he gives you kind of like a curt bow. Like he's like, "Oh, I guess I gotta bow now." But it is very formal. But he's just kind of rolls his eyes through the whole thing, and then retreats back into the shadows.
Before he does, Percival like goes forward and like grasps his hand and just goes, "Oh, so you're the strong one of the two of you, are you?"
I wouldn't. Uncle Azra, who is this guy?
Oh, I'm Percival Stormbringer.
Oh.
Or Stormseeker. I get my name wrong sometimes.
Okay, Percival. No, I'm just kind of like a little. I just tag along here with my Uncle Azra. He's just watching me, trying to teach me how to be a knight and whatever. Ugh, it's stupid.
Oh, to be a knight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's. Oh, all right. Well, to each their own. Cool.
I just I mean, if it were up to me, I'd just be at home reading my young adult fiction. But since it's not, I'm here.
Which one in particular are you reading right now?
Oh,
my little brother's super into that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm really into the Ruby Blood series. It's all about
okay.
It's all about gay vampires and a society that they've created for themselves. And just sort of like it's like a slice of life kind of thing where you just get to like see little pieces of different like gay relationships of these gay vampires in this gay vampire city. Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually got my little brother the first editions of that entire series before I sent him off to school.
Oh, really?
Your brother's at school.
Yes. His magic got a tad unpredictable. Couldn't quite keep track of it, so I sent him to figure that out. Not
interesting.
But I think I have an extra copy, and he like reaches into his bag and pulls out a first edition of the first novel.
Wait, seriously? Oh my god. You have first
Yeah.
you have a first edition Ruby Blood? This is, oh my god.
Yeah.
Is this Cantman's
Pretty
Wake?
sure it's signed by the author too.
Holy, oh my god.
Yeah.
How did you get this? This is crazy.
I have my ways. He just tosses it over, just lackluster. Just tosses it to him.
I can have this?
Sure. I don't need it.
Mako, remember to thank Percival.
And as soon as Uncle Azra chimes in, his like excitement fades and he retreats into his angsty demeanor again. He's like, "All right, Uncle Azra, thank you, Percival." And then he turns to like creep back into the shadows, and then turns back. He's like, "No, but really, thank you. This is really cool."
I'm going to take my Warhammer once more, and I'm going to strike upon this creature before me.
Awesome.
That is a 16.
16 is gonna hit. Roll your damage.
And I'm going to do. That is a 9.
9 damage. Okay. Let me see here. So you bring this thing straight across the zombie's face as he's lurching towards you, getting ready to slam into you again. But you take that opportunity to bring it right across his jaw, and his head like snaps to the right. And you hear a sickening crack. That blow should have killed him, but let's see if it does. You said 9 damage?
9.
He gets a crit fail on his undead fortitude, and he drops to the ground. You smashed his neck clean in half. It's not in half. It's all twisted now, and he is no more. 7 damage. That you sprout newer, sturdier acorns on the tips of your quarterstaff and bring one of them straight across his jaw. You don't mess around with like the two-handed swing this time. You're just going for sheer accuracy, and you clock him right in the chin. His neck also spins around, much like the last one did. But let's see if he is able to regain his last hit point, because he gets to try to do that. Which he does. So his neck spins, but it spins all the way around. So now his neck is all like twisted in a helix, but he's still just going and leaning against you, like he's going to attack still. 6 damage. So again,
Nice.
you bring your hammer straight down onto this thing's head. You hear its skull crack, but let's see. Okay, let's see what he does. Again, you feel this skull crash in between. Now his neck is twisted, and his face is all bloody and dented in, and it's all misshapen and gross, and he's still going, he's still coming for you. This thing is so fucked up looking, it should have died 2 or 3 times now, and
Why won't you die?
Yeah.
That literally is what Percival is. Just, why won't you die? And is gonna run forward and trident into the head.
Hell yeah. You aim for that. You go for the
Nice.
kill shot, running up to him with your trident. Roll to hit.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Ooh, dirty 20. Yes, you skewer this thing right in its collarbone, like partially untwisting the skin around his neck. 6 damage.
6 piercing damage.
All right, let's see. Every time, it's the more damage you do, the harder it is for him to stay alive. This time, he fails. He needed to get an 11, and he got a 5. So with a final running start, Percival, you skewer this guy straight through his collarbone, and it's just enough to fully sever all of the twisted skin around his neck, to the point where the trident like stabs his head like a fork, and then when you pull it back, you still have the zombie's head attached to the tongs of your trident, and the zombie is no more.
I quickly launch it back across the room. Just
Yeah, like a cross style. Yeah.
Get it away.
It slams
and then
into-
just wipe it off on the bottom of my trench coat. Just okay, all right. Percival just goes, which way should we go? And then turns and starts heading to the right side cavern.
This one.
Yep.
Awesome. You.
And as they go, they're like, never, always to the left. Always go left, no matter what.
But you're going right.
Well, I was facing them at the time, so it just...
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Always go left.
Who's
depending-
left? My left or your left?
Always the left. Never clarifies.
Well, he goes this way. Skeletons are gonna go. So they're gonna slash at you, Azra, because you're in melee range of both of them.
Fuck. Okay.
Do. Let's see what happens. And your AC is 18, right?
Yep.
All right. So you've got a good shot of living here. Uh-oh. First one is going to hit you. Second one, that's jacked. Oh, they're both gonna hit you.
I have 1 HP. I'm down.
Oh no.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. How much? What is your total HP?
8.
Okay, good. You're not killed outright, but almost.
Yeah.
Because you take 7 damage. So it's real close. Oh boy. You see your friend Azra fall as both of these skeletons manage to just fully they don't outmaneuver him. They just like overwhelm him because they're so close. And it's too close quarters to dodge out of the way. They both manage to skewer him in the gut, and he falls to the ground unconscious. Do.
Okay.
Slash of shame.
That is 9 damage.
9 damage. Luckily for you, this is the first time you've hit with a bludgeoning weapon, and these creatures are vulnerable to bludgeoning damage.
Yes!
So with one hit, this thing goes from fully uninjured to a pile of bones. You just whack through it like Sammy Sosa, just driving that thing to the outfield. Just clattering armor and bones, just echoing all throughout this cavern. One-shotting it with a single blow from your two-handed weapon. Incredible. Azra you can never count him out, even when he drops unconscious twice. And with that, we have exited combat.
Azra will call out to Mako to start taking inventory of what's in here.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Molly
Uncle
reads.
Azra. I was just getting to the good part. There's a love scene between Gary and Xander. It's really steamy.
Gary,
The vampire known as
Xander.
Gary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a fantasy world, Uncle Azra. You don't get it.
My other 2 people who are not my squires, but are people who are also traveling with me, Arthur and I forget what I wrote down the other guy's name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Are they like outside the cave?
Yes, my
Yeah.
lord! You hear echoing from the outside of the
Did I
cave.
pass them on the way in and they just didn't say anything?
well-
Yes, they just stared at you. They moved they stood so still you didn't even notice them. They're such nondescript,
Excellent.
vague, bland people that they blended in with the stone.
Take one of the short bows, and I'm going to hand it to Mako, and I'm going to say, "Remind me to take you out hunting later. I'll teach you a thing or two about the bow."
If I have to, I prefer learning about the other kind of bow. BEAU. Get it? Oh,
Percival starts laughing immediately. Just that was a good one. That was a good one.
Mako cringes at his own awful pun and then walks away with the short bow. I
That
like my
kid is a
vampire bows,
romantic.
not archery bows. These 3 zombies, they're lumbering about but standing, looking towards you as if they were ready for you. One is costumed like a bear. Another is dressed as a lady in a frilly dress with thick makeup, and the last is costumed as a jester with jingling bells on its collar and sleeves. And you notice that the one that is dressed like a bear literally has a bear's skin, like a bear hide, like stitched onto it as a costume, like a circus bear. And it's pretty gruesome as you look around. And as you poke your head out, the jester steps forward and it moans towards you, goes, and he sort of just is like gesturing performatively. And Percival, you if you want to poke your head around as well, you also see this.
Yeah.
And the jester seems to be gesturing towards you very politely, and he's just doing some he's like moving and acting like he's talking, but he's just going and then he steps back and sort of gestures for the other two to stand in front of him, and both of them get on all fours and sort of like stand or I should say kneel across from each other, sort of like they're they're acting like beasts of some kind. And then the gesture stands in between them and starts gesturing his hands like he's playing an accordion, and he goes and you see these the two other zombies, the bear and the lady in the frilly costumes, are walking around each other on all fours, sniffing at each other's butts, and then they mime eating spaghetti. And it's a very strange affair to see these hideous, decayed humanoids acting out some type of performance for you, it seems.
So I have an ability called Mind Link, and the creature has to be able to understand at least one language. So I kind of want to like peer into the jester's head to try to understand, like, just in case their vocal cords aren't working and they aren't actually able to speak out loud. I want to see if I can like mentally communicate with this thing to understand what it's trying to say.
Okay. So you're gonna. So can people? So with your telepathic link, they can send messages to you as well.
So they don't need to share a language with me to understand me, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
Okay, cool. So is there something you're saying to start this communication? Because I think that's how it works, right? You send a message and they can send something back, right?
Yeah, I just say like, I don't mean to be rude, but I and my friends can't quite understand you, to hear your story.
And all you hear back is, "This is the night, such a beautiful night on this lovely
A single tear goes down Percival's face. A single tear, just, that is beautiful.
He has a beautiful voice in his head. And it seems, as far as you can tell, they're just like performing for you.
I relay that to the group. Just, guys, sorry, I'm in the jester's head right now, and it is beautiful.
Finishes his song, and they actually change, and they kind of like scurry around each other. And the smaller zombie that was wearing like the maid outfit gets all wrapped up in like a towel and kind of like swaddles herself like a baby. And the bear one actually picks her up and holds her up to the sky as the jester goes, and they all start dancing and humming to themselves.
Seems they're at least a two-trick pony, Percival.
Yes, I'm gathering as much. Also, just like for my own personal amusement, I definitely like telepathically just say like, huh? And then I'm assuming I hear back the full like Lion King.
Yes,
like,
you do. Na Tagonia, Mama Kitty Baba.
Weeping. Just, you don't understand, guys. This is beautiful. This is art.
And they're just gonna keep acting out the Lion King in this horrific, grim fashion. It would be really cute if they weren't made of decaying flesh and corpses.
You see that Percival's eyes are closed. Like Percival's not watching, just listening.
Percival's just.
They're about halfway through Circle of Life, and it moves us all So as
It's just
Percival
ultimately
is like,
looking
if
at
you
the
wouldn't
grid.
mind giving me space and letting me, and all of a sudden, whoosh, an arrow flies past your face, Percival, and
he's just staring at Percival like.
all you hear is a sickening sound as it and a slight jingle as the gesture stands upright, becomes very rigid all of a sudden, and then falls to the ground with an arrow comically shot sideways through his head.
Also, Percival definitely like sees this, stops, and goes, "Touche."
But unfortunately, the other two zombies do not take too kindly to this, and they go, "Ugh!" And the last thing you hear from the jester in your mind, because you established that telepathic link before these other two zombies charge you, Percival, is, "This is not the circle of life." And then it falls to the ground. So, and Azra, you got 8?
Yep.
Okay, and Percival, you also got 8?
Yep.
Percival, what's your dex mod?
2.
God damn it, guys, roll again, just to break the tie.
That's a 12 plus 2, 14.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12 plus 2, 14.
I hate. I swear to
That's
God,
brilliant.
I'm flipping a coin. Azra, call it.
That's amazing.
Tails. Never fails.
It's flipping. It's tails. Azra goes first.
Okay. I wanted it to land on the sides so bad.
It's digital, so it couldn't possibly.
That would make it worse.
Yeah, that's true. If the
make it
page
worse.
just glitched, arrow 404. No! Oh God, you both act in unison.
My Warhammer. Nat 20.
Again?
Oh,
Ridiculous.
yes.
Oh, you don't even have to roll again. Yeah, roll your crit damage.
Everyone has gotten a nat 20.
Yeah, no, it's so brilliant.
That was an 8 total damage.
Mm-hmm. 8 total damage is enough to finish this thing off. But he does get to make a save because he's a zombie. You once again smash. This thing was like lumbering towards you, but its head was tilted slightly down. So you bashed its head downward, and its head smushed up against its chest in a move that would surely break its neck if it were living. And it crit failed on its check, so it falls to the ground. And the last thing you hear it say is "Hakuna Matata."
More tears. More tears.
10 damage. You finish her. You in similar fashion to the other ones. In her final words, you hear her mumble. Wait a minute. I forgot she gets to roll a save, and she fails. And as you pierce her throat, you hear a gurgled, "Can you feel the love tonight?" Oh. As she passes onto the ground in a heap of decayed flesh and gurgling blood.